Hi there guys, I really didn't expect to be back this week because I've been taking the whole lockdown pretty seriously, so I decided that I wasn't going to be heading out to pick up my magazines and that kind of thing. As luck would have it, I was out on a toilet roll raid today and there was none in my local supermarket. So I tried the newsagent which gets these in for me, and to my surprise he had issue number 11 and issue number 12. So I'm happy to review those this week. So we'll be looking at issue number 11 now. To let you know what's coming up is, in order to catch up, I'm going to do issue 11 and 12 without a playthrough of the mission. I will do a further video this week, which you'll have the missions from 10, 11 and 12. So it'll be one video with 3 playthroughs on it. And then I think it'd be a good time as well to take a look at our collection so far. So I have been filing this stuff away, and I thought it might be a nice opportunity later this week to take a look at that stuff as well. Okay, so let's get into issue number 11. So we've got the sigmarite mausoleum, which I will show you in a minute. I actually own this already as part of the Warcry terrain set. So I'll show you that in a minute. But let's have a quick blast through the mag first. In this issue contains your first terrain kit, the sigmarite mausoleum. Terrain is an important part of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, as it adds a 3-dimensional aspect to your games. Models can hide behind, climb over and move around terrain models, and many of them have their own war scrolls with extra rules to add to your games. This issue comes with the first half of the kit, and once it's built you'll be able to use the tombs and fences in a playthrough where we teach you to use terrain and a few other rules as well. Okay, so we're going to look at Stormhost Part 3, 1000 Storms Part 1. The origins of the Stormcast Eternals are explored in this timeline, beginning with the Dark Days leading to their creation. Then we're going to look at Forces of Death. Nagash's armies are huge and made up of many different types of undead. Read about the vast legions that serve the great Necromancer. And then we've got Battle of Bone and Ash. In the Realm of Fire, the fury-bound chamber of the Celestial Vindicators clashed with an army of the undead. Okay, then we've got our build guide, and then we've got our playthrough for issue number 11, Between Tomb and Terror. In this playthrough, we introduce rules for moving over and around terrain, guiding you through with a series of examples. Okay, great. So first of all, chambers and conclaves. So this is part of our Stormhosts Part 3. You know, although it does say Stormhost Part 1 there, but I'm sure that once we've filed it in with the rest of our stuff, it will all make sense. Each of the Stormhosts is divided into several smaller organisations known as chambers. There are many types of chamber, from the large strike chambers, which might be made up of hundreds of warriors, to the extremist chambers, which might only contain 30 of the Stormhosts' most elite warriors. The warriors within each chamber belong to conclaves. Each conclave is made up of a particular type of warrior. For example, within a warrior chamber, the Redeemer conclave is made up of the frontline soldiers, while the Justicar conclave supplies the ranged troops. The Lord Commander of a Stormhost is often required to fight many battles across the mortal realms, but not all battles require an entire Stormhost. Okay, and then we've got some of the different colours here. So we've got the Hallowed Knights, which probably I don't think they look the coolest. Celestial Knights, the Fists of Sigmarite, the Knights of Aurora, and Azurite Arbiters. Nice, and I'm a big fan of metallic greens, so that does look very nice. Okay. Next up, we've got 1000 Storms. In the Age of Myth, the mortal realms were mostly places of peace, progress and wonder. The coming of the Age of Chaos destroyed all Sigmar had worked to achieve. In response to this disaster, he created the Stormcast Eternals, an army of heroes designed to bring ruin to his enemies and reclaim lost lands. And this takes us through a lot of that. Battle with Burning Skies. And then it brings us right into the Age of Chaos. The Red Century, With Sigmar abandoning his rule over the mortal realms, the nations and tribes that once thrived there are ground down and enslaved by the cruel minions of chaos. Daily life becomes a hellish nightmare. Okay, great. Okay, so then we move on to Forces of Death. Nagash, the great necromancer, has the power of a true god. He seeks to bind all of the mortal realms into an empire of grave cold order and mindless obedience. At his side march vast legions of zombies and skeletons, as well as all manner of other terrifying undead creatures, which we will learn a bit more about here. So it's got some stuff about the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. The Bone Reapers came out last year. But the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, which are really cool. I've got the Feast of Bones box, which has got some of them in it. It's very nice. So it's got the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. The Ossiarch Bone Reapers are led by the Mortarch Catacross. They are the most organised and disciplined of Nagash's troops. They are used to break the largest, most powerful armies. Catacross himself is a tactical genius who willingly chose to serve as Nagash's Mortarch in order to match the wits of the mortal realm's greatest military minds. Then we've got the Flesh Eater Courts. Though they are not truly undead creatures, the Flesh Eater Courts are known to serve Nagash, to willingly fight alongside his armies. Nagash often orders them into lands he wishes to conquer, hoping they will spread their curse, infecting more mortals with their cannibalistic taint. This allows Nagash's armies to sweep in and conquer what remains with ease. And then we've got what we're collecting, the Nighthaunt. The Nighthaunt rose in great number after the Necroquake. Nagash appointed Lady Olinda, the Mortarch of Grief, to lead them. They are used as shock troops to smash into the enemy and send them fleeing from the battlefield in absolute terror. Okay, then we've got something about battles, the Battle of Bone and Ash. On the fiery ash plains of Akshai, Nagash's undead legions rose from within a volcano to plague the forces of order. The fury-bound changer of the Celestial Vindicators intercepted the advancing undead and battle at the Battle of Bone and Ash. Amid streams of spitting lava and volcanic rubble, the two forces clashed. Okay, so that's good. Right, then we've got how to build our mausoleum, and I'll show you what we get this week because I already own it. So we get 3 small buildings and 2 fences. So we'll start with the smallest one, which is here, and all this is pretty straightforward. And we are going to get more to go with what we've already got. So that's the first one. Then we've got the second largest one, which looks like this. Nice. Then we've got the biggest one. There we go. So they are all cool. We also get 2 fences. And they are both the same as this one, so you get 2 of those. Okay, now, if we look back at the magazine, we will see that there are some other things that we're going to get. So this statue here, which I may as well show you because I already own it. So that's very nice. We've got some more little platforms for these buildings to live on. And they are cool. A little cross that will sit on top of here. But so the stuff in grey here is what we've already got, and the rest is what we will receive. It is a nice kit. I've got all of this already. Perhaps when I do the playthrough, I'll run through the rest of the other stuff that we've got there. But yeah, very good. Okay, then we've got the playthrough, which, like I say, I'm going to play through in a separate video along with the ones from issue 10 and issue 12. But I'll read up on some of the information here. Bolts and arrows fly between the tombs and mausoleums, and Nighthaunt geists, exploding clouds of arcane energy. Enraged, the undead hunt units of castigators through the ruins. The castigators must stay out of the Nighthaunt's range or risk being torn apart by their rusty blades. Okay, so this uses all of our terrain. And this actually uses our full map laid out. So that's good. So we start off just using one side of the map. Castigators lined up against the chain rasps. Which is good. And we can see from the playthrough that Stormcast immediately withdraw into the other side of the map. Okay, but this looks good. I look forward to playing through that later this week. Okay, then the battle continues, starting with the Stormcast player. Continue taking turns playing through move, charge and shoot and combat sequences until only one player's models remaining. That player wins. Okay, good. And then in the near future, the very near future, we've got the Night Quest Storm. I've already got the magazine and I've already made the model. But I'll be reviewing that tonight as well. And I'll be uploading these one after the other as well. So that's good. And then issue number 13, we've got some more paints. We've got Mechanica Standard Grey and Abaddon Black. But we do get a small dry brush as well. And dry brushes are very good. Okay, so that's it. That's it for issue number 11. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very shortly for issue 12.